Hey everybody! Looking for something vaguely amusing to go along with your daily outrage? Like coffee and almond milk, here's the news. You ever have that elementary school bully that ends up trying to be your high school friend? Well, Google announced this week that they're investing $1 billion into housing in the Bay Area with a goal of building 20,000 homes for all income levels, they say. I'm usually skeptical about news like this, but if they're telling the truth, it may just be worth it to deal with the built-in Google toilet that analyzes the nutritional content of your fecal matter and sells it to marketers. What? Cheap is cheap! Now, moving away from the gilded lands of tech bros and IPOs, you know how the US is trying to roll back or outright ban abortion in the most dumbfoundingly backwards time since arguably the Reconstruction era? Well, in a related and equally depressing note, a pregnant mother in Alabama, Marsha Jones, was arrested this week on felony manslaughter after her unborn baby was killed by gunfire, fired by somebody else. To make sure you heard that right, this woman was involved in an altercation where somebody else shot her in the stomach, killing her baby, and she's the one facing manslaughter charges. Meanwhile, our charges were actually dropped against the shooter. This is part of a growing trend focusing on fetal personhood, the very Alabama idea that an unborn fetus is not only fully formed human being with human rights, but with enough rights to successfully sue. So yes, in certain states right now, an unborn fetus is indeed more protected by law than the women that birthed them. Jefferson County prosecutors say they have not yet made a decision whether to prosecute Jones, so we'll see if she'll face up to 20 years in prison. Speaking of having no rights in this land of democracy and freedom, you may have heard about the children we're keeping in detention centers along the border. Well, it's gotten so bad that lawyers representing the kids filed a suit against the Trump administration, claiming the government is holding children in unhealthy and unsafe conditions. These children, including newborns and toddlers, have been held in cages without beds, a way to clean themselves, or even adequate food and water. This week, Congress did pass a $4.5 billion emergency measure to infuse money into these agencies, but not the other measure that would have established minimum health and safety standards. Representative Marsha Fudge says, and I quote, "It just makes sense to take their bill so that we can go home and at least feel like we're doing something to help people in need." Or in other words, hey, I feel good about this. What more do you want from me? And maybe you feel better about yourself for watching this whole video, which you should. You're a real one, as they say. My name's Malachi, and that was the news.